Hey, Kelly, you want to do a dead end?
Always. With you? Always.
Well, I got a good one today. I want to talk about something that in the 1970s,
Oh,
America. Well, I love the 1970s. It's just my favorite decade. It was so weird, and we kind of had a front row seat, but but we were kids. So
child's
we don't.
view.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, in the 1970s, America lost its mind when it became convinced that a breakfast cereal kid had exploded after eating candy. Remember this?
Was this Pop Rocks?
Yeah. Pop Rocks.
Is this like one of those urban legends?
Yeah. You remember Pop Rocks?
Yeah, of course. I feel like I've had some in the last year or two.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It was invented by a food scientist named William Mitchell. And he was a pretty renowned, as far as food scientist goes, I'd say this guy should be in the Hall of Fame. He invented Cool Whip.
Oh, yeah.
Cool Whip's pretty awesome.
It really is.
He invented Tang.
Okay.
Less awesome, but still.
But used by astronauts. I wonder if they still take it on like the Artemis missions these days.
And William Mitchell also invented Jell-O.
Wow. You talk about food Hall of Fame. This guy deserves to be in it.
So he was trying to create an instant, shelf-stable, carbonated soda powder in the 1950s, right? So the idea would be that you would just add this powder with water and it would make fizzy soda, and you wouldn't have to use bottles or cans. It would just be a powder that you could use. Obviously, it's never happened, so obviously that's not possible, maybe. And that would have been a cool
there are
invention.
machines. There are machines now that you can make soda with at home, right?
This would have been
where
like
they'll carbonate you.
This would have been a pouch, though, that you could just put it in with water and it would make
like emergency or those those little energy packets that you zip open with vitamins and stuff.
That doesn't carbonate water, though.
Emergency doesn't carbonate, but it does actually fizz when you put it in.
Right. Or Alka-Seltzer, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Fizz.
Yeah. So the idea is that he was trying to create a soda powder that you could put that would be stable on the shelf. Well, the idea was that you would mix sugar syrup with the flavoring, the way you'd make this, and then you would expose it to carbon dioxide under very high pressure, and then you'd let it cool, and then the gas stayed trapped inside the powder. Well, it didn't work. And that would have been cool. Imagine how that would have revolutionized the soda industry if soda just came from powders.
Cold water and you just pour some powder in it and you have a Coca-Cola.
That would have been amazing. And we probably wouldn't have had like the technology in cans and bottlings that we ended up having. So, but he did realize that with this stuff, that when you did put it in your mouth, the chunks would crackle and release gas.
Kind of like I do.
Yeah. Well, he released this in 1975 as a candy called Pop Rocks. Well, it was pretty different for, when you think about candies that are out there, it was pretty out there. Again, that was right in our wheelhouse. 1975, an exploding candy. And then, of course, the rumors came. The biggest rumor being that if you eat Pop Rocks and drink Coke, your stomach will explode.
Yeah.
Now, I was in 1975. I was in Michigan. You were in Missouri or Texas or Huffman, Texas.
Yeah.
We both heard the same stories, probably, that a kid had already died from it. And then that Mikey from the Life cereal commercial, that he had died from it. Now, He didn't. Let me put that to rest. He did not. His name, the actor's name was John Gilchrist, the kid that played Mikey. He was alive the whole time. And he didn't even know the rumor existed for a long time.
And hold on, but before you go further, everybody who hasn't seen it, there's a commercial with this kid and he doesn't like anything, right? And then at the end of the commercial, he eats some Life cereal and they say, "Hey, Mikey, he likes it." or something
Yeah.
like that, right?
He likes it. Hey, Mikey. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was a cute little kid. And the rumor was that he died from eating Pop Rocks and Coke.
What a tragedy.
So his mom, he didn't know about these rumors, but his mom kept getting calls from strangers with sending their condolences. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's playing in the backyard. Well, General Foods tried to get him to appear in a Pop Rocks commercial.
Oh, smart.
That would have been great advertising, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it.
Not only, like, don't worry, you can buy this, and here he is, Mikey,
Yeah.
But his parents declined. It just felt dangerous eating this stuff. Like, you might not have believed the rumors, but it didn't feel like it was something you should be doing. You put this, explain to the listeners the sensation of putting some Pop Rocks in your mouth.
Well, let me just start by saying, first of all, eat it is one thing. What I would do with Pop Rocks is you'd put it on your tongue and you'd let all the popping happen. And it was pretty intense at first. If you poured a lot on your tongue, it was like
you could hear it,
like crackles. Yeah, it was like, and I think isn't there a cereal that does that too? Snap Crackle Pop. What's the cereal with Snap Crackle Pop?
Rice Krispies.
Kellogg's
That does it
Rice
in
Krispies.
the milk, not in your mouth, though.
But if you put a raw Rice Krispie in your mouth, it does do that. The liquid breaks the little membranes or something and causes them to pop. That was the whole thing with Snap Crackle Pop. But these Pop Rocks, that's more of a passive thing where these little membranes are breaking and you're hearing that sound. The Pop Rocks are actually exploding, tiny explosions of, what'd you say it was? Carbon dioxide?
Yeah.
That's trapped in this sugary coating. Yeah. And it is just enough. When the liquid happens, it dissolves the sugar, the coating disappears, and that carbon dioxide escapes with a pop.
And you can move your mouth in ways that would make that that sound real cavernous, real like, I don't know if people around you can hear it, but you can hear it in your mouth. Right?
I remember putting my ear up to somebody else eating Pop Rocks and being able to hear. And then you could open your mouth and you kind of, and you could make that. And the popping would your mouth would become an amplifier or an echo chamber for the popping. But back to your question about danger. I feel like if you were to just swallow a bunch of them without letting them pop first, that could be kind of dangerous, or at least give you really bad bloating and gas, right?
I don't think it's dangerous at all. But, in the 1970s, when this stuff was coming out, there was a lot of consumer anxiety because a lot of information had just been, I think a lot of studies had just been done on chemicals in food and artificial ingredients.
Yeah, Silent Spring.
Prior to the 1970s, I think people mostly were eating food that was mostly wholesome and farm fresh, and the advent of preservatives and microwave dinners and all this stuff was creating a lot of anxiety, and microwave ovens had just come out, and just coming off of, not to make it too big, but just coming off of Watergate, I think there was just less trust in what the government was doing and how much they were actually protecting us. And there was a lot of just distrust and anxiety and everything. Well, General Foods, who made this stuff, had to go in full crisis management mode. They took out ads about, hey, this stuff isn't dangerous, but I think the most effective thing that they did was they sent letters to schools. They sent letters to principals. They used scientists. They offered their own scientists to come and give speeches to schools. They created a hotline in case anybody ever did, have a problem, just for people to feel like they had a voice. I think they had on the back of now you could say this might have perpetuated the rumors because they had a hotline to call if there was any problems. And of course there wouldn't be any problems. I could see that going two ways, right? I could have people feel like, oh, at least I have a voice here. But wait, if this candy needs a hotline, maybe I shouldn't be buying it for my kids. Well, these rumors just wouldn't die down. And they were off the shelves from 1980 to 1986 because of the rumors. Just people weren't buying them because they were like, you know what? I'm not trying to die from eating candy. It's now owned by a company called Zeta Especial. I think it's a Mexican company. So they still exist, but not at all at the level or as popular as when General Foods owned it. I think they're more of a novelty candy now that you can buy in maybe a specialty candy store, but you're probably not even going to see them in the grocery stores under their current name.
So more carbon dioxide in the soda than in Pop Rocks. But is that combination, is that a deadly thing? Did the Mythbusters ever debunk that myth?
I think they did. I don't think there's anything remotely dangerous about eating Pop Rocks.
So even in large quantities, you could have.
Well, this sounds like a Mr. Beast episode, if I ever heard one. How many Pop Rocks do you think would be dangerous?
I would think once you surpass 10 packs, they were in little like one
all
or
at the same time.
Yeah. If you had your mouth like stuffed with Pop Rocks, I feel like then you swallowed it,
and then chugged a 2-liter of Coke.
Yeah. I think that would cause some problems. I think that could.
It probably wouldn't kill you, but it'd probably ruin your day.
And there's so many things like that in the world.
Well, it's like the Mentos,
Mentos
trick.
and Coke.
Yeah. I think you're picturing that happening in your stomach, right?
Yeah.
In my family, when we talked about dares, when we would talk about like putting 10 packs of Pop Rocks in your mouth, we would ask rhetorically if you would do it for a lottery ticket. And that's in honor of Kelly, that when we were in college, Kelly would do lots of dares for a lottery ticket, which I think is the proper currency for a dare, because it may be something, it's probably nothing, but that's better than giving somebody $20, because you might be giving them $20,000. Yeah, most likely you're giving them nothing.
Piece of paper.
The first time I ever saw Kelly do that, I gave him a lottery ticket, and in return, he let a dog drink milk out of his mouth.
Why do we bring that up? Back to Pop Rocks. I should have let the dog. I wonder what would happen if you gave a dog Pop Rocks.
Oh, I wouldn't. We don't recommend this, by the way.
No.
Probably allowed. We don't want this to happen. But if nothing happened, like if it was safe, the dog would still probably freak out over what was happening in his mouth, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And how would you get it in his mouth?
Well,
you'd put it in your mouth.
Dog.
You'd put it in your mouth and fill it with milk.
Thanks,
Depends on the dog.
Depends on the dog. How well do I know this dog? Yeah. How intimate am I with this dog?
Well, that was Pop Rocks, everybody. Happy dead end.
You pour them in my palm, red, blue, little stones. I took the bag and grinned like I found gold at the store. One on the tongue, then a whole dare. Yeah, I say go slow, mine say I don't care. They crack like tiny sparks under every bite. Sweet first, then that bite, then the rush, then the fright. Catch too many at once, and your stomach explodes. Pop rocks, watch me go. Pop rocks, down too slow. Sweet little burst, then the alarm. Pop rocks, love and harm. Too much in one mouthful, and your tummy goes boom. I lean in close for more. You laugh and step away. The sugar sticks to my teeth like a game I cannot play. One snap hits the roof, then 10 They crack like tiny sparks under every bite. Sweet first, then the bite, then the rush, then the fright. Catch too many at once, and your stomach explodes. Pop rocks, watch me go. Pop rocks, down too slow. Sweet little birds, then the alarm. Pop rocks, love and harm. Too much in one mouthful, and your tummy goes boom. I learned the hard way fast. Don't chase them with a sip. That little happy blast can turn into a trip. So I spit out the handful when the pop gets mean. Some candy looks harmless till it scrapes your teeth or lights up your throat, and you can't get it to stop. Pop rocks, watch me go. Pop rocks, down too slow. Sweet little birds, then the alarm. Pop rocks, love and harm. Pop rocks can't say no. Pop rocks, let them go.